How does your financial advisor get paid? How's he getting paid now? How will he get paid in the near future with the new Department of Labor laws? Let's talk about it. Okay, let's talk about financial advisor fees. Now, the problem is you may not have heard in the industry right now, there's a big buzz going around about the recent Department of Labor rulings that should go into effect April of 2017. So I'm going to talk about how financial advisors are getting paid now and how it may change in the coming months and years, because who knows if the actual law will get passed and who knows if it will actually start in April of 2017. So the problem is in my arena of financial advising, the fees, the acronyms, even the investments, all very confusing. Nothing's clear. I don't know why, and I hate it. So I'm going to try to make it kind of clearer in this video today. And the problem with the recent DOL, Department of Labor ruling, is they want financial advisors to act in the best interest of the client. Now, that's a no-brainer, and that's how I've structured my business and have been for years. The problem is what's in the client's best interest is not always black and white, and the ruling didn't make it black and white. So of course the lawyers are going to have a field day and probably go after financial advisors and go after with class action suits of products that were sold or whatever that weren't in the best interest of the client in their opinion. Okay, so let's talk about the financial advising fees. Now, there's two. I'm going to do a Venn diagram here, so bear with me. All right, so in the financial advising world, if you go to a financial advisor and he puts together a plan for you, it's either going to be in one of these two arenas and possibly some overlap that go into both of these. Now, basically, the one circle is brokerage firms. The other is advisory firms. Okay, so what does that mean right there? Brokerage firms are if you're working with a financial advisor that calls himself a broker or a registered representative. Those are the people who charge commissions. Okay, so if you're in a bunch of mutual funds that have like A, B, or C share attached to it, and you may not know, you may need to go to the FINRA website and type in your ticker symbol of your mutual fund to find out the fees you're paying and the commissions you're paying. But that's how your registered representative or your broker gets paid. He puts you in mutual funds that have a commission, and it trickles down to him, and that's how he gets paid. He or she, excuse me. So, commissions, registered rep, broker, yes, mutual funds, okay? That's what they tend to put you in because, of course, that's how they get paid. Now, I'm not a big fan of mutual funds. If you're a client or if you watched other videos on my YouTube channel, then you know I'm not a big fan of mutual funds. They're loaded with fees. They don't beat the benchmark that they're trying to. So, for instance, if it's a mutual fund investing in the S&P 500, they can't even beat the S&P 500. By the time they're in there buying and selling and all the fees, they can't even beat the benchmark that they're labeled against. So they usually don't make sense. But if you're dealing with a commissioned advisor, that's probably what they're going to put you in, okay? All right, so the advisory fee is fee only. This happens to be me, how I've set my firm up, okay? My firm is set up as an advisory only, so fee only based on investment products, okay? If we're dealing with money in the market, then I do not get a commission for it, and either does anybody who's a fee-based financial advisor or has set their company up as an advisory firm, okay? So fee only, no commissions, and normally, if I've got money in the market for my clients, we're in ETFs, exchange traded funds, been around for decades now. More money now is going into ETFs than mutual funds because people understand that you can't beat the market. So ETFs are just basically a basket of stocks, okay? There's not a money manager in there buying and selling and trying to beat the market and having all these fees. They're very, very low fees. You can find them at Vanguard, Fidelity, and companies like that. Okay, so that tends to be how fee-only advisors will invest your money into ETFs, because there's no commissions on ETFs, all right? Just very low fees, maybe like a tenth of 1%, 20.20 percentage points, okay, for ETFs, where mutual funds are 1, 2, 3% easy with all the fees, okay? Okay, so ETFs, so commissions, fee only. Now this middle part is insurance products, okay? A lot of times, insurance products are part of a good financial plan. Insurance companies can only provide certain benefits that no other investment can do, right? Like, well, life insurance, number one. Number two, it could be an annuity of some point. And again, I've got other videos on my YouTube channel here that talk about the different kinds of annuities. I'm not going to get into too many specifics, but basically, if you can have a variable annuity, you can have an indexed annuity, and you can have a fixed annuity, okay? So again, if your money is in the market, like a variable annuity, well then that's what these guys are going to sell. Okay, because so they can get a commission on those of the money that's in the market, okay? Now, I can sell variable annuities because I'm licensed to sell anything in the universe, basically. That's the way I structured my company. But I hate variable annuities. I refuse to sell them. And of course, anytime a financial advisor tells you they refuse to sell you something, make sure they can even be licensed to do it. A lot of times I'll hear advisors saying, oh, I will not sell that thing. It's because I can't. They're not licensed to do it. If you're dealing with an insurance-only licensed financial advisor, then he cannot put you in the market at all, whether it's commissions or fees, okay? So variable, mutual funds, usually in the market, then it's that's why the brokerage firm. And I'll also tell you too, indexed annuities, which are usually the annuities that I prefer. When I illustrate them out, they seem to make sense and they're the cheapest for my clients. Because your money's not actually in the market, they're very, very low in fees, okay? And that's the ones that I tend to use. Now, a lot of times, if you're dealing with a registered representative or a broker, he won't even offer you an indexed annuity because the brokerage firm doesn't get paid because money's not in the market. So they won't let their advisor even sell them, okay? So think about that. Fixed annuities, they can go to both because, again, there's but these guys usually won't because you can't get a commission on fixed annuities, okay? And remember, brokerage firms are under the guise of best interest, okay? Of suitability, meaning they only have to provide products to you and provide service to you that they find suitable. Not the best, suitable. Their first interest is the house. That's their employer, okay? So they have to do what is in the house's best interest too. That's the number one priority. And what do they say? The house always wins, right? Now, I'm not saying all brokers, registered representatives are bad, okay? A lot of times they think they have your interest at best. But they're trained differently. They're trained to make sure that the house always wins, okay? So they may not know any difference. So they're only supposed to do what's suitable for you. Where over here, the way I've set up my firm, if you're dealing with an RIA or an advisory firm or a fee-only firm, we are under a different law. We are a pure fiduciary, which means by law we have to put your interest first and can be held liable in a court of law if we didn't do that, okay? So it's important to know the distinction, especially when you're dealing with your retirement money, okay? So let's talk about now this new DOL ruling, the Department of Labor ruling that's supposed to take place in April of 2017. So what they are saying is, anybody who gets a commission on an investment product must have the client sign a best interest form, okay? Because they want to make sure that they are putting your interest first, okay? And if not, again, if you ever find that they didn't put your best interest first, I'm sure at some point you'll easily be able to find a lawyer and you can sue that broker, okay? That's the idea here. They're not saying you cannot charge commissions. You just have to sign a form saying they put your interest first, okay? So basically, they're slowly merging this side of the world into the way I've set up my firm and have for decades, Okay, so it's the way it is. And they're saying mutual funds can have way too high of fees. So they're going to probably find that those are not in the best interest of the client, which is why, again, mutual funds, the ETFs will probably start to outsell mutual funds by an even larger margin now, because the Department of Labor is saying you cannot charge excessive fees to clients. So that's probably going to start moving into ETF world also, okay? Let's make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, yeah, I did want to mention too, what's weird is the Department of Labor ruling says that all these new laws coming into effect and the way brokers have to start acting only is for qualified money, only money in IRAs, 401ks, anything that's a qualified plan or a retirement plan. So if it's not tax deferred, if it's not in an IRA, then the new rules and laws don't work. And I guess brokers can charge excessive commissions once again or put you in high paying mutual funds. I'm not quite sure the logic there, but that's what's going on there, okay? So I know a lot going on here. If you want to know how much you're paying in mutual funds, go to the FINRA site and they type it in and you can find out what the fees are. Just email me or put it in the comments and I'll get notification. I'll tell you the fees that you're paying in the mutual funds, okay? John Bogle, who started Vanguard funds, which are known for their low fees, said, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. I'm always very cognizant of fees and how they affect my clients' overall retirement plan, because this money sometimes is in their retirement plan for 10, 20, 30 years, right? So we want to make sure that we're not charging an excessive amount of fees. Okay, so that's kind of the fee structure, how it works. If you have any questions, please let me know. And of course, click this subscribe button. And anytime I come out with a new video, you'll make sure that you get notified that I've just put out a new video. So thanks again for watching. Dan Casey, Bridge River Advisors. Thanks.